بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبح لله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لم تقولون ما لا تفعلون كبر مقتا عند الله أن تقولوا ما لا تفعلون. إن الله يحب الذين يقاتلون في سبيله صفا كأنهم بنيان مرصوص. وإذ قال موسى لقومه يا قوم لم تؤذونني وقد تعلمون أني رسول الله إليكم فلما زاغوا أزاغ الله قلوبهم والله لا يهدي القوم الفاسقين. وإذ قال عيسى ابن مريم يا بني إسرائيل إني رسول الله إليكم مصدقا لما بين يدي من التوراة ومبشرا برسول يأتي من بعد اسمه أحمد. فلما جاءهم بالبينات قالوا هذا سحر مبين. ومن أظلم ممن افترى على الله الكذب وهو يدعى إلى الإسلام والله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. يريدون ليطفئوا نور الله بأفواههم والله متم نوره ولو كره الكافرون. هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا هل أدلكم على تجارة تنجيكم من عذاب أليم تؤمنون بالله ورسوله وتجاهدون في سبيل الله بأموالكم وأنفسكم ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. يغفر لكم ذنوبكم ويدخلكم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ومساكن طيبة في جنات عدن ذلك الفوز الكبير. ذلك الفوز العظيم. وأخرى تحبونها نصر من الله وفتح قريب وبشر المؤمنين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا أنصار الله كما قال عيسى ابن مريم للحواريين يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا أنصار الله كما قال عيسى ابن مريم للحواريين من أنصاري إلى الله قال الحواريون نحن أنصار الله فآمنت طائفة من بني إسرائيل وكفرت طائفة فأيدنا الذين آمنوا على عدوهم فأصبحوا ظاهرين صدق الله العظيم.
MashaAllah, such a beautiful recitation. Alhamdulillah. It's almost as if you're at a Caribbean beach. Alhamdulillah. So all praise and thanks are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for making it possible for us to be here today. Last night was our formal opening and you were all here. So I'm not going to go into a lot of the specifics about what we discussed last night, but rather this is more of a continuation in terms of exactly what this seminar is about. You are the delegates, the participants. It is not a program that has been imposed by someone else, but this is a program that we are developing among ourselves. So feel free that you are an equal party to this program. If there are changes that you wish to see made in the program, let us know. It is not something which is fixed, it is something which is fluid. It can be changed depending on needs and so on, inshallah. Before we start the formal proceedings, I just want to lay down some of the rules and regulations and some of the aspects of this premises which we need to know about. As we are all aware that we are coming from many different countries and security is a big risk and issue in this country. And therefore we all need to be aware, we all need to be on guard and alert to what potentially can happen. At this point in time in this country, there are more murders that takes place than there are these that have gone past in the year. On average, there are 1.5 murders each day. So it means that within 2 days there are 3 murders. So we just have to be alert, we have to be careful, inshallah. And it's important for us, each one of you has a name tag. Please use so this will help us to identify each other and identify people who may be coming from the outside that we do not know. If we do not know, then we are within our rights to find out exactly who they are, so that to ensure that we have worked with valuables, and we want to ensure that those valuables are protected and we are protected here on site, inshallah. Now, for those of you who are on site, I did talk about some of the aspects of the site that you need to be able to understand. I know that there were some brothers who came in last night and in the early hours of this morning, and therefore you may not be familiar with all of the facilities which exist on site or lack of. So the first thing is that there is a dedicated area for sleeping, which is on the upper floor, and most of you have been there last night. And there's also a dedicated changing area, so that this is important in order to protect our privacy and the privacy of others as well. As I indicated, that we know that we'll be here, and at times we may want to perhaps talk to each other in the wee hours of the morning because we're only here for a few days, and this is perfectly fine. This is why we are here. But in doing so, there are dedicated areas in the dining room and also in the conference room upstairs, as well as any area here that is you can come to, and then you can spend time with the brothers, inshallah. And also there's tea and coffee and refreshments throughout the course of the night. So it is yours, feel free to take whatever it is that you like. There are dedicated areas for toilets and washrooms, and those are upstairs. You know the ones upstairs. There are also some on this side for having a bath. During the course of the day, because the sisters will be here, we would prefer that you leave the sisters' areas out of bound and allow them to be able to occupy their section, inshallah. It is clearly marked female downstairs. Upstairs, you can use the facilities which exist upstairs. There are additional showers which are located to the back of this facility. So if the ones during the course of the day are occupied, feel free to use the ones at the back. Yesterday, alhamdulillah, we managed to be able to put enough hot water in place to be able to allow those who prefer hot bath rather than the cool bath to do so, inshallah. So that's about what is here. What I would like to suggest is that you do not use the in the toilets to make your wudu. There are dedicated wudu areas outside of this building, close to the mosque, and especially on the back side, the additional toilets and as well. So please use those facilities dedicated for wudu for the purposes of making the wudu. And this will ensure that the bathrooms remain clean and they remain clean for everyone, especially of water during the course of the day. We have dedicated cleaners who will be cleaning the facility, who will be after us, but to be able to make their life easier and as part of our adab as Muslims, it is important for us to help in that process, meaning that taking our dishes up, cleaning the tables, rather than allowing someone else that task, we can do it ourselves. And just always ask, is there anything that needs to be done? And then you can be part of the whole, be part of the whole event, inshallah. So it's not just event organizers, but in a sense we are all event organizers. We have tried our best to be able to produce an event on which I would consider in terms of what we have, a modest budget. A modest budget in terms of how we, and especially in the Caribbean area, we need to know how to be able to manage our resources. As you are well aware, if I were to ask you, what is one of the most important problems that you will have in your islands? One of the first things that you say, we have lack of resources, especially financial resources for your activities, for your massages, for your people. And I know many of you who have come from communities which are on the other side, on the poor side, rather than having all the resources available. And therefore, as Muslims, we need to know how to manage the little that we have. And in so doing, this is what we have been able to do in this event. If we wanted to choose a lavish hotel and have the event, it would have been very difficult for us. We may not have been here today. But the little money and little resources that we had, we looked at all of the facilities. We looked at those who would be able to invest in an event like this. The Trinidad Muslim League Center, which has been so gracious in allowing us to use the facilities. We looked at the needs for beds and for sleeping, which is quite expensive in this island. An average room, which I would consider to be only a 2-star or perhaps a 3-star room in this country, is at least 75 US. And some of you have experienced that. It is very basic. It is not what you would expect in the UK or in the US. We expect far better for what we pay. We would pay much less in the UK for what we would get in this island. But this is the reality of the situation. And that's why we have been able to work with other Islamic centers, work with the Islamic Missionaries Guild, use some of what they have, bring all of their infrastructure in place in this center, which is more of a newly built center, and try and see how we can work with each other to best use all of the facilities which exist on the island, including that of local businesses. The meat that you eat, they have graciously donated the meat. Some of the cooking which has been done has been donated. The doubles, the local doubles which you ate this morning, they were cooked in the wee hours this morning, and they were all donated to you, knowing that you are coming from all of these different islands. So there are people who are helping in the background to be able to help us to be able to manage with the little that we have. And the little that we have, with the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, will go a long way. If we have this type of mindset in mind, it means that whatever little that we have, we would begin to realize that to be able to do things for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we can do things on very little. When we look at the Muslims in Medina, we would realize that they had very little at their disposal. They had those who came from Makkah, the Muhajirun, they had very little at their disposal. The Ansar, who gave the little that they had to the Muhajirun, they themselves had little. But coming together, sharing the little resources that they had, they were able to help themselves and they were able to grow and develop such a wonderful community. And the same can be for us, inshallah. So let us learn from this experience of doing things together. By working together in this, we will make it an event which will be blessed, inshallah. We will learn more from each other. We will work hand in hand. We will wash the dishes together. Not just talk in the classrooms, but talk while washing the dishes. Talk while mopping the floor. Talk while doing all of the menial tasks that we might expect others to be doing. This is why we have called this event a meeting rather than a conference. It is a meeting. It is a coming together of minds, of hearts, of fraternity, of brotherhood, of love, of people who are all working and dedicated for the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why we are here. If we have that focus in mind, inshallah, this event, inshallah, will be a success. Not just for ourselves, because we are not here for ourselves. We are here more so for our communities. We are here more so to be able to empower our communities with the little that they have, to be able to fill them with a sense of hope, to be able to see how the other brothers and sisters in all different parts of the world have that sense of love for them and want to be able to help them and work hand in hand with them. And we will see that coming out during the course of the program. So I can keep on talking for a long time, but I will allow our brother, inshallah, Brother Sulaiman, who is a key organizer, who I know most of you know very well. He has been involved in Islamic group for a long time, for many decades, and he is very well and in tune with what is happening at the Caribbean level. And he is perhaps the best person to be able to address you all and to be able to bring greetings, inshallah. Brother Sulaiman.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم. Brothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We gather this morning under the theme Finding Opportunities, Facing Challenges. I cannot express enough in words the immense pleasure and joy I feel in being given this opportunity to gather once again with my brothers and sisters from the Caribbean region. Alhamdulillah, summa alhamdulillah. It is a pleasure that I feel deep inside, and I'm sure all of you feel the same, that we can come together as brothers and sisters and get to know each other. Brother Reza mentioned last evening that this meeting had its beginning over a year ago. And I thank the brothers and sisters who worked diligently, and he just mentioned a bit of it, over the last year by the grace of Allah to make this event a reality. It was not easy, and it required time and effort, and we, alhamdulillah, have reached this stage. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us, وَعَلَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى, that mankind or human beings will not have anything except which they strive for. So the striving and the fruits of our striving we see today as we meet. We identified 33 countries in the Caribbean region, most of them islands, but not all. As was reminded to us on the chat by our sister from Belize, it is not an island that they live in, it's a country. So yes, we are not all islands, but we did identify 33 places that we wanted to have at this event. These islands and these countries are linked historically, culturally, and politically to the Caribbean region. We did not include the Spanish-speaking countries of Central and South America because they have their own gathering and their own groups. So they are not involved. We are not Latin America. We are the Caribbean. Fortunately and unfortunately, we weren't able to have all 33 countries, but alhamdulillah, we have 24 of those 33 countries that we identified. Some budgetary constraints and so on did not allow us to have all 33, but we pray, inshallah, that one day we will be able to gather all 33 together soon, inshallah. As you know, air travel is very expensive in this part of the world, and so that made it a little difficult. But inshallah, we will one day meet with the rest. But that we have 24 is a significant number. While this meeting is not the first of its kind, and inshallah it will not be the last, we recognize that the gathering of Muslims of this region has gone back almost 50 years, to the 60s, when brothers and sisters of that generation had the foresight and the passion to see Islam spread in this part of the world. They left a legacy that we have inherited, and we must continue to build upon that legacy. Alhamdulillah, Allah has blessed us to have still in our midst some of those brothers from that generation who were the pioneers. You cannot begin to imagine the happiness I feel to share this platform with one of those brothers, who, although he is not from this region, has since 1968, when he first visited this region, always had a care and a concern for the Muslims of this part of the world. My passion for Islam in the Caribbean started by the mercy of Allah some 35 years ago, when I was invited by another pioneer, the late Hafiz Haji Muhammad Degia. May Allah have mercy on his soul. He invited me to attend a gathering at the age of 13 in Barbados, organized by the World Islamic Call Society for Muslims of the Caribbean region. And there I think I met one or two of you brothers. It was from the onset of that involvement that I heard the name of Dr. Ahmad Tutunji some 35 years ago. His name was synonymous with the da'wah in the region, and he has been an inspiration and a motivation for me all of these years, and we thank Allah for almost 50 years of from his first visit to the region, that he is blessed to return to us, to see the fruits of the seeds he so diligently sowed then. I am sure he is proud today to look across this room and say, Subhanallah, we have done some work, haven't we? May Allah bless him, reward his immense efforts, forgive his shortcomings, and grant him Jannatul Firdaus. I speak about the passion for Muslims of the Caribbean, and I speak so knowingly that Allah has also blessed us to have among us another pioneer. And this person embodies the passion that I speak about. A brother who was among those who have guided me and helped me on this journey. And his lifelong passion and struggle has been and remains for the Muslims of the Caribbean, and that is Brother M.K. Hussein. His lifelong passion. The brother is now 90 years of age, and he still has the passion to leave Trinidad and go to visit the islands in the Caribbean at the age of 90. Alhamdulillah, may Allah bless him and reward him and grant him also Jannatul Firdaus. And throughout the years, brothers and sisters, there have been many other brothers and sisters who have had that concern and passion for the Muslims of this region. Some have passed, and we make dua for them and their souls, and may Allah grant them good in the qabr and good in the life hereafter. And some are, alhamdulillah, I am pleased again to be able to have them here with us. And today we have a mix, a blend of the older generation and the newer generation. I suspect that I straddle both generations. I lie in the middle. But we have brothers today who have spent many years in the struggle and have had a concern, a passion for Muslims in the Caribbean. We have brothers from Bahamas like Faisal, Brother Khalim from Belize, Brother Siddiq from Grenada. These are brothers who have spent years with concern and passion, not only for their island and their country, but for the Caribbean as a whole. We have had organizations that have sprung up and worked diligently for Muslims in the Caribbean. We have had the Islamic Missionary Guild of Caribbean and South America. We have had ICLA, Association of Islamic Communities of Latin America and the Caribbean. We have had the Caribbean Muslim Forum. We have had the Caribbean Islamic Secretariat. We have had Brothers Al-Hikmah Services. We have the Tabligh Jamaat who send their Jamaats out to each island and do their work. We have Al-Rashadi Foundation in recent years who are building masajid across the region. We have the Organization of Islam for Latin America and the Caribbean, where some of our brothers are represented in that. So we have had brothers who have been working diligently over the years. So we say alhamdulillah that there have been efforts. And we come to a stage where we have now the younger generation among us. So we have a good blend today. When I was doing the organization for this, I was asked to reach out to the brothers and sisters in the region to invite them to come here to meet. I was pleasantly pleased to know that we have now the next generation who is coming representing the older generation. I was pleasantly surprised to speak to Sister from Belize, who is the daughter of Brother Kaleem. And both of them are here. One generation coming to the next generation. The baton is being passed on. The brother from Jamaica, his father was very instrumental in the effort. Brother Tariq, his father Farouk, I know him. MashaAllah, we have a younger generation and the older generation coming together. We can learn from each other. And we can rejoice that the baton is being passed. And we also have brothers who have represented this region in the diaspora, who have left this region but have not forgotten it. And we are happy today to have among us Brother Dr. Dawood Abdullah, who is from Grenada but has lived many years in England but has always maintained his roots in the region. And I'm sure has helped in many ways the brothers and sisters of this part of the world. So the diaspora, the brothers and sisters from the diaspora, they have been doing their work. So alhamdulillah, we are blessed today, and I'm indeed happy that we have been able to gather. Of the 24 countries that are represented here, we have a cross-section of talents, we have a cross-section of the communities. We have the very matured communities like Guyana, Suriname, Trinidad, Barbados, Jamaica. And we have the maturing communities, those who are now gathering the resources, and alhamdulillah they have masajid and they're building their other institutions. We have Grenada, we have Antigua, small, young, now growing. And I am pleased to also say we have for the first time in the gathering of Muslims of the Caribbean, a tiny island called St. Eustacia. Maybe I pronounce it incorrectly, brother. I think for short it's called Stacia. But it's a small Dutch island. Never represented, I don't think, in the history of the Muslims of the Caribbean in any meeting. But we have the brother from St. Eustacia. Where is he? Where's our brother? He just left. Eustacia. Alhamdulillah. I have been pleased to find out that we have Muslims now in every island of the Caribbean, every country of the region. There is a presence of Muslims. Allahu Akbar. There's a presence of Muslims, whether it is 1 or 10 or 100 or 10,000, there's Muslims. We have a brother here from Montserrat, he recited Quran so beautifully. MashaAllah. Do you know Montserrat? It had a population of 10,000 people some 20 years ago, was it? A volcano erupted, the population went to 5,000 people. Half the island is uninhabitable. But you'll have Muslims in Montserrat, reciting Quran as beautifully as he does. Subhanallah. 5,000 people on an island, hit by a volcano, and we find a Muslim reciting Quran so beautifully. MashaAllah. So we have brothers and sisters, we have been blessed. Allah has blessed us. And we have talents, and we have opportunities. I have been asked several times, what is the purpose of our gathering here? Why are we meeting? Several people have asked me that. Some genuinely asking me, and some not so genuinely asking me. But I will take a lead from Dr. Tudunji and only focus on what is positive. Why are we gathering this weekend in this beautiful country and hospitable country of Trinidad? So I sum up in 2 words what I see as the purpose of our meeting. One word I took from the ayah that was read last evening by Dr. Tutunji. The verse in Surah Hujurat, which says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He made us, He created us from one male and one female, and He made us into nations and tribes in order to ta'aruf, to know each other. So one purpose of our meeting, my dear brothers and sisters, this morning and this weekend is to know each other, ta'aruf. If that's the only thing we take away from this meeting, that we know each other, we have achieved a great success. At-ta'aruf, getting to know each other. That is why Allah created us in nations and tribes. We are a nation, we are many nations and tribes in the Caribbean. We are not one single type of person. That is the beauty of the Caribbean. That is the beauty of this region. That we are not one type of person. We are not one nationality. We are not one race. We are not one language. You speak French, Spanish, Dutch, English. 4 languages in this one meeting. We even speak Taki-Taki. There are brothers and sisters from Suriname, correct? And some brothers from the other islands speak Creole. And Patois. And Papiamento. The Dutch Caribbean, right? Subhanallah. So ta'aruf, one of the purposes of this meeting is to know each other. We are neighbors. We are commanded in Islam to know our neighbors. We are commanded in Islam to treat our neighbors with love and dignity. So if we are neighbors, we have to know each other in order that we can treat each other with love and dignity. So this is about ta'aruf. Oftentimes, we go to many conferences and we ask what are the outcomes. Dr. Tutunji usually asks me, what is the outcome of the conference? And sometimes we have great resolutions and great hopes. Sometimes not many of them are achieved. But one thing that is achieved is that we know each other. That we get to know of one another. And we maintain contact. So the purpose, one of the purpose I see of this meeting is ta'aruf, to know each other. Commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the second word I want to leave with us as a purpose of this meeting, which is the natural outcome of ta'aruf. The natural outcome of knowing each other is ta'awun. Ta'awun ala birri wa taqwa. Cooperation. If we know one another, we can then cooperate with each other. It is a command also. You know each other, you cooperate with each other. So we have now to go to the next level. We know each other, we have to cooperate now among ourselves. We have to cooperate in all that is good and all that will bring the pledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Dr. Tutunji mentioned again last night about taqwa, he took a time to explain the taqwa. What is it that we are about? What is our purpose? Our purpose is to get taqwa. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. So we ta'awanu ala birri wa taqwa. We cooperate on that which is good and righteous and on taqwa. So the next outcome of this meeting is that we start to cooperate with each other. And again, I'm happy to know that that process has already begun. Technology has allowed us today to have instant communication with each other. Instant. I remember back in the 1980s sitting with Brother MK in the Secretariat in Port of Spain, putting stamps on an envelope and folding envelopes to post in the mail to the brothers in the region. The young generation will tell us that it's called snail mail. But I remember that we sat and we did that to send a message to the brothers. Brothers, there's a meeting in Trinidad in August. Please respond by letter, tell us know when you can come or if you can come. Now I put a message on the WhatsApp. Instantly it goes to my brother in Antigua and he says, yes, I'm coming inshallah. Subhanallah. Instant communication. So the cooperation is easy now. So I was pleasantly surprised when I set up the WhatsApp group among the brothers and sisters of this meeting. And our brother from Nivas immediately said, brothers, it is Ramadan coming, I need someone to lead the salah in my masjid. Can you help me? And our brother from Montserrat, he responds, I'm coming, brother, I'm coming. Allahu Akbar. How do you get from Montserrat to Nevis? You have to take a boat. You have to take the boat from Montserrat to Antigua, right, brother? And then you take a plane to Nevis. He was prepared to leave Montserrat and go and help our brothers in Nevis to lead the salah in the masjid in Ramadan. That didn't work out, but inshallah, his intention will get his sawab. Inshallah. So we can help one another. In small things, we can help one another. And in big things, inshallah, we can help one another. So this meeting is about ta'aruf wa ta'awun. And the ta'awun can come in many forms and many fashions. And it is not about us coming here and saying, what can Dr. Tudunji send from Saudi Arabia for us? Subhanallah, he can send du'as for us. We have to help ourselves. And then inshallah, the help from Allah will come. If we help ourselves, the help from Allah will come. So my dear brothers and sisters, we have great opportunities ahead of us. And I think that this meeting is important, and that let us come away from this meeting, inshallah, with some idea of where we want to head and where we want to go. And that inshallah we can start to cooperate and communicate with one another. And technology, as I said, allows us to communicate and speak to one another. And I want to keep that WhatsApp group going beyond this meeting. I want to add the other countries that have not been able, so that we can have a Caribbean forum on the WhatsApp, that we can talk to one another, that if there's an event that is happening in one country, we can invite our brothers and sisters from the other islands, other countries. If there's a problem, we can speak about it, and maybe some assistance or some advice can be given from each other. So the WhatsApp group, I want to keep that going, and I want our brothers and sisters to participate in that WhatsApp group. Again, there is a website called www.caribbeanmuslims.com. Take a note of it, www.caribbeanmuslims.com. The brother who runs the website, he's from Trinidad, but he lives in Canada. It is in the process of being reorganized, but he has offered that you can utilize that website. You can send him information, and he will post information, news, anything relating to Muslims in the region. He is willing to carry it on his website, and from that website you can gather other information as well. So make a note of that can happen. Brothers and sisters, as it relates to the reports that you are going to give over the next 3 days, I want to encourage you to be concise and ready for your reports. I have the PowerPoint presentations of all the countries ready, that we will use the PowerPoints as you're presenting. We did say that you will have 10 minutes each in your presentations. We may extend it because if we want to capture some more information, but we'll try as best as we can to keep it within 10 to 15 minutes, your presentation. And if you look at the back of your program, on the last page, page 10, you will see what we ideally would like to capture from the reports. So the points here, regional reports and analysis, please get a chance to read through that and try to target your presentation to suit these things that we would like to gather. So I'm not asking you to change your presentation. All I'm saying is that as you present what you have prepared, just try to bring out some of these points here so that we will be able to capture the information as we need it. Why do we need this information? This information helps the organizers to start to put together a plan of action, and also helps for our brothers outside of the region who have connection to other institutions that could perhaps help to kind of get an idea of what we need in the region, what are some of the needs, and what is the strategy that we should approach. So please take the time to do that. I have more or less informed everybody when the program, when the structure will be, when the time slot will be. If you haven't got that, you can see me after and I'll give you that. So try, inshallah, that we make the best of those reports. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us. He will bless our gathering. He will bless the brothers and sisters who have made this possible and have been of yeoman service that we see and we don't see. And we pray that Allah will continue to give us blessings in this part of the world. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa
barakatuh. The focus must be on the Caribbean, but in this particular program we are especially blessed to have those from Mauritius here. Alhamdulillah, we have 3 of our brothers one coming directly from Mauritius for the first time, and 2 of our brothers who are from Mauritius but based in the UK who are here with us to be able to share their experiences. Even though one of our brothers, he recently visited Papua New Guinea, and one of our brothers asked me the question, the brother who is coming with you, is he from Papua New Guinea? He sounds like that. So alhamdulillah, he's gotten the accent from Papua New Guinea. So So there are many brothers here, and in addition to that, we also have one of our esteemed brothers from the UK, which is Dr. Atala Siddiqui, who is with us. And Dr. Atala has had a very difficult time trying to get here. With the airport being closed, with airlines being airplanes being redirected, getting his luggage lost, and finally coming here. And he has been without luggage for the last couple of days. Inshallah, the luggage will arrive today. So it has been a difficult time, I know for some of you and for, but alhamdulillah, we are together now. And inshallah, it will be a blessing, inshallah. So the next person, inshallah, I would like to introduce is our brother, Dr. Ahmed Tutunji. I did speak about him last night. And I will not speak very much about him again, but ask him, inshallah, to say a few words, inshallah, for us, inshallah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, I am really very, very happy to be with all of you. I'm really very, very happy to hear this wonderful presentation from Brother Sulaiman. The objectives of the Muslim Ummah is to serve the cause of Allah. And inshallah, this meeting is primarily to do that. We have responsibilities, whether individually, in our own families, in the countries which we live, in the region which we live, and in the world over. A Muslim is an active person, to me by definition. He does not sit and look what others should do. Takes the initiative to see what he can do for his people and for the Ummah. I think Allah Ta'ala has provided us with a very wonderful opportunity in this meeting to think, to analyze, to see what are priorities for the Ummah in this area to rise. Nobody else can except yourselves. And we have to not close our eyes on what the Muslims are doing in all the other parts of the world, so that to take from them the good things which they have and improve our own level and whatever we are doing. And the other, which is not less important, is to see what are the wrong things which are going on there and try to avoid it. In my experience in the Islamic work, both has been very, very important. And alhamdulillah, wherever we went and our brothers were always cooperative, we were able to raise the standard of the da'wah and Islamic work in these countries. There isn't an overemphasis if we say, no matter we have 7 people, as is in one of the countries represented here, or we have 100,000 of them. It doesn't make much difference. We have to be able to have a plan to take care of the needs of that community. We cannot ignore certain aspects and leave on the other. But we know certain things are more priority in each area than it is in the other places. And if we want to survive in this area and to really make our impact on our communities in a very positive manner is the matter of education. That is the key to our success. And the Prophet ﷺ, the first revelation received from Allah Ta'ala was Iqra. Please give enough importance to the education. Try to see everyone studies up to the maximum of their capabilities, so that they will be able to help themselves better and the people who are around them in their immediate family, and to raise the standard of his people in that country which he is living. Without education and the proper education, we will not be able to do what should be done. Number two is, when we are having a community, we should not the burden only on one person. True, always there will be some people who will take the initiative and so on. But we should not be watching him working. We should be putting our hands with him to accomplish what we want. There is no time for us to say, well, the United Nations must do this for us. OIC should do this for us. This or that, this country or that country, they have all these things will not get us anywhere. And many times we have said this in our meetings and conferences, and we have ended up disappointed and not getting much accomplished. We have to depend on ourselves with the support of Allah. And when you try to work in this direction, in this way, Allah Ta'ala will never let you down. And I have seen it in so many countries. When there is sincere effort, you will see that they will flourish and they are able to do much better than the others. What is after education? What is after education? Second is actually to do with the education, and that is our children, our young people. If we do not give enough weight in our work to them, they will be lost, and our existence in these areas will be meaningless. Alhamdulillah, there are now some wonderful examples which Muslims in different parts of the world, they have done very efficiently in a very systematic manner to be able to become a model of an Islamic center which takes care of all the needs of the community. I will really recommend to you to see the website of adamcenter.org. Anything you desire to be in your community and in your country, they have a model of it and institutionalize it in the work, giving all the details of how to be done. Let me give you an example. Alhamdulillah, every one of us desires to see that we share our Islam with the others. And there are many people are coming to the fold of Islam. When he comes to Islam, we hug him and we are very happy and so on and so forth. And in most of the places, we may not see him again. And they will suffer. In Adam's Center, for instance, when I was there and we were building the center and so on and so forth, we tried to look at all these small specific projects. We said, all right, what does a new Muslim needs to read? We made a list of few books and booklets. Month 1, month 2, 6 months we used to put as a target, and we used to ask from the community, who are the people who are willing to make mu'akha, brotherhood or sisterhood with the people who became Muslims? And we made a roster of about 60, 70 names. When someone becomes Muslim, we tell these people, somebody is becoming Muslim, you come and attend the meeting, and who wants to take it? Of course, people are busy and they may have commitments and so on, but in the end you will find at least 5, 6 people whom we could choose to from them, or who want to insist that they will do it. His job will be, and I'm giving a bit details, so that we don't leave these people alone. They take them to every function Muslims have in that area. In our case, in Northern Virginia. There is somebody passed away, they take them to the ta'ziyah. Some people is getting married, take them and they see all the community together there. Someone is building a new house, or he moved in, people are coming visiting them. In the end, you'll find after 6 months, they know maybe better than their community than those people who have been living there for 50 years. They become integrated to the Muslim community. They become part of it. We have a big community, alhamdulillah, in Northern Virginia. We have at least in about 13 places Salat al-Jum'ah, which we provide the imams for it. And in each Jum'ah, we have 1 or 2 or 3, and sometimes in summer, 4 and 5 Jum'ahs, one after the other. And this is a surprise to many of you, because your places are small and the numbers are limited. You do not have to have more than 1 Jum'ah. The time of the Jum'ah prayer is like Eid, after sunrise until Asr prayers. And you could have any time the Jum'ah. Although the norm has been is noon time. And it's a prime time which is there, but it is not the only time. In our mosque, which capacity is 750, normally not less than 2 Jum'ah is conducted every time of the year. Sometimes 3, 4, 5, and its capacity is 750. So instead of having a very huge building with cost, not used throughout the week, because only in Jum'ah you need these big numbers. We have made our mosque built on a basketball team, normal basketball size, and they play our youth all the time there. We have also divided it into half, so that the girls and the ladies would be on one side and the boys will be on the other side. We have a full-time person just for the youth activities. If we do not attend to them this way, they will be outside and lost. Let us really think big in these things, plan it, and tailor it to your own need and the number of the people which you have. We have a special imam. We send him to at least 10 to 15 intensive courses which an imam needs to have in the center for anything which the community needs. A boy and a girl, they are married, they have some problem. Yeah, Imam Majid, I am here. Somebody is trying to do something in the area and the community, who will be able to do, there is someone who will put them in contact with them, so that the Muslims will be able to support each other. So whatever it comes to your mind, inshallah, you will see it is there. I'll talk a little bit about the marriage, because we also, as usual, we have given very little emphasis in our meeting as well about the women. We talk about it, yes, we have to do, and so on and so forth, but alhamdulillah, alladhi la yuhmadu ala makruhin siwa. We always say alhamdulillah, even if something is not good. That is the only time we say alhamdulillah also. Is we have to take this seriously to upgrading our ladies' activities, imparting to them the knowledge which they need. They take care of us as children. They take care of us as adults. They take care of us as father. They take care of us as husband. As they take care of us, all these things they do much more than we do. Still, we are not giving them really the right due. In our center, alhamdulillah, as we said, I also in the khutbah, the ladies, they are in the same hall, and there are certain rows which are behind, just like in the mosque of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and in the time of Abu Bakr, Umar, and so on. When Umar said something, one of the ladies thought that she knows better. She immediately talked, and from the mimbar, Umar answered. He said, "She is right, I am wrong." So let us not make these things complicated, difficult, and discussion and fighting among ourselves and so on and so forth. Our example is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We do not know better than him. But sometimes traditions and precautions and so on. I have understanding also even in this problem, which was basically in India. They were under domination of Britain. They were in a hostile environment. And they were not feeling safe that their women go to the mosque and come and go. Their solution was to protect them at home. But that doesn't mean when the situation changes and there is law and order, we do not have to do this. So in your communities, why I'm bringing these details is that please think of your local condition. Don't impose on yourselves difficulties which doesn't even exist in some of these communities. So this Imam, mashallah alayh, we brought the elders of the Muslim community, some really social scientists whose specialization on marriage, and we prepared 100 questions. If a boy and a girl address these questions to each other and they listen to the answers, they know after they are over reading these questions whether they are matched for each other or not. There is some red lines for the boy towards the girls. If that is there, why should he waste his time and destroy the life of the other person? And there are some very green lines. That is wonderful, this is the common. And there is something in between. When it is negotiable between them, they know it before they get married. It is not a surprise and someone becomes angry and divorce comes. And we did this because there were divorce increasing in our community. In 2 years after we instituted these questions, with the help of Allah, we were able to reduce it to 50% in 2 years only. And now they are even telling me it's much less than that. So there is nothing we cannot solve if we are really, our intention is to upgrade our community and improve. So look at the websites of these things, and there are so many details, and you can see. For instance, one of the things which we did, people all the time, they say, well, we do not have funds for our activities, that's why we are not able to do. That is only a whim. It's not reality. Number one, we can do with whatever we have. Number two, we have to increase our funds. We have to learn professional begging. Sometimes you go to someone and you talk to him, we are trying to collect funds for the helping Muslims in disaster or something like that. And we know this man, he likes to build mosques. If you talk to him 2 hours, he will give you just something to be nice to you, pleasing to you. But if you listen to him, see what is his priority in helping in Islamic work, and he tells you this is building mosques, he will write for you the check for $50,000, $100,000 right away. And it has happened with me. Now it is a profession, fundraising. And Dr. Saleh Al-Samurai, one of our brothers from Iran who established the Islamic work in Japan, Saleh Al-Samurai, he says Ahmed Tutunji is a international professional beggar. Which is true, and I feel proud of it, because I didn't beg for myself. And we can be. And we take lessons even in fundraising. So we learned that if I go for fundraising, I don't tell them what I need from the beginning. Talk to them, say this is the Muslim community, they are needs, and so on and so forth. What do you like to help? And let him speak. Take note of it. MashaAllah, brother, we will inshallah institute this. Would you able to help us to chair this, so that we will be able to do the job better? You have experience in it, and we will learn with you. We built our mosque in Virginia. We put the foundation stones 2 months after September 11, 9/11. And we finished it in 1 year. It was about $4.5 million worth. We did not have any penny loan when it was finished. After Fajr prayer, we had after Fajr prayer, every Sunday, the fundraising committee will come, and we say it's an open house. Anyone who has any ideas to help with the funding of the building of the mosque, they are welcome to come. And I used to sit also, I was chairman of the board. I would sit every Sunday about 3-4 hours sometimes. And they raised it. In 10 years, they had raised about $1.25 million. In that 1 year, we collected $1.25 million. 10 times the normal rate which is there. And we had a group of our brothers who were not giving the donations to stay in the bank. We made a fund for that, and it was invested. Anyone had a very good project, they would put 10% for the Adam Center money and do it. We had 2 million already ready there. Most of them did not know it. And alhamdulillah, without a penny, it was built. After September 11, and I am deliberately saying this, and it became one of the model Islamic centers everywhere. So it is not the matter of funds not being available, brothers and sisters. We have to make an effort to be able to learn how to collect. And it's not shameful to go and get even consultation with some people who are their job of this. Now they get masters and PhD in fundraising. In my language, begging, PhD in begging. So I went to these details for you. There is nothing impossible for a Muslim when he wants to work for Da'wah and Islam. Wallahi, brothers and sisters, I have been in this, you have heard this, and I am not bragging on this, I am giving you an example. More than 50 years in this work. Never the money was the obstacle for our work. And I say it with sincerity, and I can give you examples, the names, the countries, what has happened. It was always the people, the right people. Give you also a story, a small story. MSA of US and Canada, Muslim Student Association of US and Canada. We formed it in 1963. After I finished my studies in England, we came to America, and I had experience in the da'wah in England there and used it in America. Our budget first year was $200. 7 people formed Muslim Student Association of US and Canada, 50 states. The distance between Washington and San Francisco, only 5,000 kilometers. $200. The next year, just a fly came and put a dot in front of it. It was 2,000. In Arabic writing, by the way. Next year it was 20,000. Next year was 200,000, our budget. Next year was 2 million. And this is a fact, and it is written, and all the details are there. We upgraded ourselves the way how we should do it. And give you one example of it. When our budget became 20,000 from 2,000, alhamdulillah, we can do so many other things. And those days, things were not that sophisticated, and everything was by mail. And our brother talked about it and so on. All right? In summer, we had 2 brothers from Kuwait with us. I said, Brother Faisal and Mushari, some of you may even know them. Why don't you, in summer, the government used to give them tickets to go back home, see their families and come back, part of their, see, every year. I said, take these our projects and go and talk to no one except your brother, sister, uncle, niece, sister, everyone whom you know very close to you, so that they will not tease you and say you have become a beggar. And he did. One of them, Faisal, went to his brother, and he used to work in the office of the Prince of ruler of Kuwait. And he said, brother, this is what we are doing in America. These are our projects. Would you help us to collect so that we can take care of all this large number of Muslim students in America? And this fellow was shocked. He said, Faisal, these are what you are doing, and we are frightened that you people are lost now in America. Everybody is doing this nonsense and so on and so forth. He said, come and see. We have a convention. Come and attend and see what we have. In that summer, these 2 brothers collected only $200,000. And those days, this is 1966. $200,000 is like 20 or 200 million today. Don't be frightened to say we don't have funds. You have to learn also how to present your case to the donors. Build credibility with them. Give them reports after you receive what you are doing with the money which they have got. This is enough. I think I have given too much detail on this kind of thing. So don't put this myth to stand between you and the work. And today is much easier. You get just the lists, and you can get it from Sheikh Google, give you all the addresses, telephone numbers, emails, and so on. Prepare your project in a very presentable manner, and this is profession also, and people can help you with it. And with the email, push button. Even if you have 10,000 letters, it can go free. If 10% only responds, you have 1,000 people. It is not difficult, but also you have to have enough papers and in such a way that they know this is an honest group, they have recommendations, they are legible, there is a telephone which they could call, ask people in that town who will because people also, they don't throw their money just like that. They want to make sure that it goes for the thing which he is giving for. So please take from Ahmed Tutunji this thing and you will be very comfortable. We can do it. And we will do it, inshallah. And there will be no reason why we should not accomplish what needs to be done. But people do not have money in their pockets like that. Anybody come and take because he thinks that he is right, because he thinks that he is honest. You have to also show credentials that this money will, inshallah, go to the right purpose which is going on. I took also too long in this one. The last thing is that please, you are writing your reports about your countries, about Muslim in your countries, and some information about the country. Also think, if you had no limitation on funding, what would you do? Write it down. And get some help to make a budget for it. So that you know what it is. Now, at this moment, we have this much. We cannot do all of it. All right? What are the things which we can do from all this, which we have written down, which our money will be enough for? And what will be the second thing which we have to do so that we will be capable to reach to the rest of it? You will find you will be able, and you will be able to even convince the people to assist you very easily for the second project. Barakallahu feekum, and I don't want to go too much over the time on this. Shukran.
Jazakallah khairan. So inshallah, the plan now, it's 10:30 now. We're running a little bit behind schedule. What we will do is that we will combine the second and third sessions, and we will take a break now, inshallah. We will have something to drink, and to eat. Those of you who have not tasted the famous Trinidad doubles, here is the opportunity before you leave the shores of this island, inshallah. So if you did not have any, we still have doubles available, inshallah. So we'll take a break now and we'll be back in 20 minutes, inshallah.